Patrick Haggerty here, Basin Youth for Christ. We find ourselves continuing our journey through the Gospel of John, and this week we're going to be starting our journey into John chapter 19. It's a long chapter, and it's a significant one. It's all about Jesus being tried and then beaten and then eventually crucified for our sin so that we can know God. He suffered enormously, and we're going to look at how he suffered as these videos unfold this week. To start that process, we're going to look at just the first verse. And the first verse says this: "Then Pilate had Jesus flogged with a lead-tipped whip." It's easy sometimes when we read the Bible, we see a verse like that and we just read that sentence and we move on to the next sentence, right? And we just keep reading. Well, let's pause. A flagellum. Here's an example of what one looks like. Now, it's not a whip. It's not a whip like a normal whip. It's not a whip like a bull whip. No, this thing, as you can see, has this handle here that you would hold, and then all of these different leather straps that would come off of it, right? And some of these leather straps, some people used to call this the cat of nine tails, because sometimes they would put 9 of these different leather straps on it. But regardless, it wasn't just the leather strap. They would tie onto the leather strap bits and chunks of sharp metal or broken pottery, anything that would cut into human flesh, okay? And they would take this whip. This is what's happening to Jesus. We just read it in verse 1. He's probably been tied to some sort of post where his back is fully exposed, bare flesh. And then they take this whip, this flagellum, and they would bring it down on Jesus' back, even though he's completely innocent. They brought that down on his back, and it wasn't like a normal whip that would just bounce off. No, it would sink into human flesh, these sharp pieces of metal. So it was like this, whap, and then everything would stay stuck there. And then the soldiers often would twist and then yank. And when they yanked it off, I mean chunks of human flesh would go flying. Pilate had Jesus flogged. Some people assume 39 times, beaten 39 times with a whip like that. At the end of that sort of beating, human organs and rib cage and muscle and all of that would have just been totally exposed. It's said that if a person was beaten more than 39 times, if they'd go to 40, that it'd kill a man. Why would God in the flesh, why would he allow himself to be beaten like that? By puny human beings that are made in his image, soldiers that he created, he made them. Why would he allow them to beat him like that? Because Jesus knows, and knew then, he still knows, that the price for human sin is death. And somebody has to die. And Jesus, back in John 15, if you may recall, said, "Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends." This verse, John chapter 19, verse 1, is the beginning of that process. Jesus laying down his life, bit by bit, chunks of human flesh by chunks of flesh, bit by bit, for your sake, for my sake, to pay the price for our sin in full. It took that. It takes more. We'll hear about it this week. But know this: Jesus suffered for you so that you don't have to. So that you can be set free from sin and death and invited into relationship with God Almighty. The Lord bless you. I hope you have a great day today. I'm excited about our journey this week through John chapter 19, even though it's going to be intense. God bless you.